So isequent is also called as equal product curve. So one mark question you will be asked from this chapter. What is an isequent? So isequent is also called as an equal product curve. ISO, you can see ISO or isequent curve. Short form you can use it. So it is also called as constant product curve. The other name you can see is, it can also be called as constant product curve because labor and capital. So isequent can neither be horizontal or nor horizontal to the x-axis nor vertical to the y-axis. So we shall see some of the properties of the isequent curve, which are going to be seen here one by one in detail. So the first main property is isequent curve is always going to be sloping from left to right. It has an inverse relationship of both the x-axis and y-axis. So what is that we are going to be seeing here is, you can see the x-axis and the y-axis. Take for example, the x-axis can be as labor and x-axis can be the capital and y-axis can be as your labor. So this two axes cannot be in a straight line. It is always been sloping from left to right because number of laborers depends on the capital also. It has variation. So it will always be sloping from left to right. It has an inverse relationship of both the x and y. So because any one good cannot do any work on its own, either the land or the capital. So you need the help of the other also. The second one you can see, isequent is convex to its origin due to declining of MTRTS. Means it is going to be seeing that the MTR is nothing but marginal rate of technical substitute. So it is going to be a convex to its origin. Means the isequent curve is going to be in a convex. It is going to be declining because of the technology. So what is the technology we are going to be seeing here is, the technologies are going to be using different types of technology based on the development. So when you are going to be having different kinds of technology, the other commodities which are going to be produced in the market are going to be more. So suppose you are not adopting the technology, only using the labor, the output will be declining, it will go down. Or you are using the same old machines for more than 10 years or 15 years, the output will be very, very less only. So this isequent curve, it is going to be convex to its origin due to the decline of the marginal rate of technological substitute. So substitute means a good used instead of another good, which does the same work, which you get the same level of satisfaction. For example, 10 number of laborers who are going to be working, the machine can do it within 1 hour. So which preference you give? How much of laborers are required or how much of technology is required? What is the other substitute to do your production? Okay. The third one, the two isequent cannot intersect each other, which is impossible. So what are the two isequent we can see here is, it is not going to be intersecting each other. So what is that intersecting here is, you can see that two x-axis or y-axis cannot touch each other. No two commodities can give you the same level of satisfaction. So when you are going to be having one commodity which gives you higher level of satisfaction, the other can give you, but not to the same extent, but it will decline. So you can see the two isequent curve cannot touch each other or intersect each other. It is highly impossible. So both cannot give you the same level of satisfaction. So the ISO curve, the next one, the higher ISO, that is indifference curve, give higher level of satisfaction. The level of utility, the consumption of the commodities what you're going to be using, it might be about your machine or your laborers or the capital amount what you're going to be investing. The higher indifference curve shows you higher level of satisfaction. Here also the higher level of isequent curve shows a higher level of satisfaction for the production of the commodities in the market. As you implement new technology and new machineries, you will get a higher level of production in your commodity. So next you can see that the I-sequent cannot touch either x-axis or y-axis, because only one curve cannot be giving you 100% satisfaction. We see that it is going to be changing. So the I-sequent curve cannot touch either x-axis or y-axis. So only one commodity, only laborers cannot produce anything, or only land cannot produce anything. Without the help of the land, the labor cannot do anything, or without the help of the labor, the capital cannot do anything. So next you can see ISO curve can neither be horizontal or vertical to the axis. It cannot be constant. It is not possible. So this is what we are going to be seeing in this chapter, the I-sequent of the, you can see here units of the factors to x-axis and your y-axis. So it is always going to be sloping from left to right. It has an inverse effect. You can see it is sloping from left to right, same as your indifference curve what you have studied in your previous chapter. So you can see the x-axis, the unit of production, and the one side you can just take the x-axis as your capital, and y-axis you can keep it as labor. Labor are more, 12 units of labor, and what is going to be the production here? Number of your capital is going to be only 4. So the output based on the number of laborers, you can see it is going to be having variation. It slopes from left to right. So now you can see the units of the factor 2, x-axis and y-axis, 2 I-sequent curve cannot intersect each other. It is not at all possible. Suppose it is going to be there, it is highly impossible for us to know that it is I-sequent curve cannot give you the same level of output, which is impossible. So it cannot be even flatter. It is not going to be in the equal state where labor or capital are going to be in the same scale. 10 units of labor and 10 units of capital cannot give you the output. You will have variation. So it is not at all possible for you to have a straight line. The higher indifference curve indicates the higher level of satisfaction. So you can see here x-axis and y-axis, IQ1, it keeps on increases. I-sequent 1, I-sequent 2, I-sequent 3. That is how much of technology, the output is also going to be the how much of labor and how much of capital, the output is also going to be increasing. This level of increment is called as I-sequent, is going to be having a higher level of satisfaction or the factors of production. Higher I-sequent curve refers to the higher level of production. So you can see the next one, it cannot be on the x-axis or y-axis. It is not possible. As I told you, when you are going to be having only the labor, can they do any work on their own? Means they cannot without the help of the 4 factors of production. For anything to be achieving, we need the 4 factors of production, namely the land, labor, capital and organization. So when you are having the land cannot produce anything on its own. Nothing is to be grown, but on the land we can produce some of the commodities or what we are going to be getting the income. So land needs the help of the labor or the capital. So without this labor and capital, you cannot have production. So any one thing, x-axis or y-axis, cannot produce anything on its own, either only labor or only capital. So as I told you, the labor is here, and the y-axis you can take it as the capital also. You're only having money, you cannot fetch anything. So you need to have the help of the land or the labor or the organizer. Whoever is going to be taking the other 3 factors have to be implemented, only then we can get the output of the production. So without this, you cannot achieve anything in the I-sequent curves. This can be having the different I-sequent concepts. We can see the combinations of A, B, C and D units of factors. You can see as 1, 2, 3, 4 factors, and how many units of the other factor. Take for example, unit 1 factor is going to be the labor, and unit 2 is going to be the capital, and output is going to be the technology what you're going to be using. So 1 factor of labor and 2 factors of technology will give you the output as the same only. So labor and capital together will give you the output of amount of goods what we are going to be having. So 2 people are going to be working. The output is going to be 8 units of factors. The output of the technology is going to be, the substitute technology is going to be 4 units. So 3 units of labor in the factor 1 and the unit 2, you are going to be having 5. The output of the technology is going to be 3. So the output is going to be similarly, which gives the same level of satisfaction. So 4 people are going to be having this 4 factor, 4th unit, and the second unit of the factor you are going to be having 3 units. So both together you can see, using the technology here, only 2 units of output we are going to be getting. So this is all about your isequent curve. So the brief introduction towards the class here is the meaning of production. Meaning of production is nothing but converting the raw material into a finished good with the help of the resources available. You can see what are the commodities which are to be produced. So the inputs are nothing but the labor and capital. So what is the production? Output is going to be the production. How many units of labor and how many units of capital? So converting the raw material into a finished good. For example, you have a piece of land. That land cannot produce anything on its own. The land can be converted as an agricultural sector or industrial sector. So when you're going to be using the agricultural sector, what good you're going to be producing, how much of laborers are required, what is the technology you're going to be implementing, what is going to be the production, what is going to be the output. So how many laborers are required, how much of technology. So investing the capital amount, if you get in equal quantity, that is called as isequent. So it depends on the production of the commodities, conversion of the raw material into a finished good, that gives you the output of the commodity. So next you have various inputs used in the process of production. What are the various uses we are going to be having is the different kinds of ways of producing the good. For example, technology. So we are having different kinds of things which are to be produced. As I told you, suppose you want to be producing a wheat. The wheat cannot be produced anything on its own. So you need to have the land. The farmer has to sow the seeds, fertilizers, water, etc. with the help of the tractors or the machinery equipments which is required for plowing the field and to bring it to the market. Till then you have the process of conversion of the raw material into a finished good, and then it is going to be taking its process for you to get it in your hand. So we just have the various types of goods. It has to be taking the process of converting this raw material into a finished good, that is called as production. So this is going to be the input. Now you want to get a distinction or a first class, what should be the input is your hard work towards the subject and the materials which has been required for you to prepare. Then you will get your output. So without expecting anything, you cannot get your output. So when you are expecting, you have to put in your hard efforts. That will give you the production. So like this input is going to be converted into an output using the resources available based on the quantity of the commodities, that is labor and capital. Equal labor and equal capital will give you the production, or you will have variation. Lastly, you are going to be seeing about the concept of isequent. So what is an isequent? Isequent is nothing but an equal curve, or it is going to be called as a set of all possible combinations of two inputs, that is namely labor and capital, which yields the same maximum possible level of output, which does the same work and gives the same level of output. How much of laborers and how much of capital we are going to be investing, so much of units of commodity we are going to be getting it in the output level. So next we are going to be seeing about the marginal rate of technical substitution. As I told you, the concept of marginal rate of technical substitution is a theory of production similar to the concept of marginal rate of substitution in the indifference curve. As I told you in the previous class, indifference curve, there you can see marginal rate of substitution. What is that marginal rate of substitution? Is a good used instead of another good. That is called as marginal rate of substitution. So here in the production, you can see marginal rate of substitute goods are those goods which does the same work of the labor and the capital, which gives you production. So that is going to be called as an isequent or marginal rate of substitution, which is going to be getting you the output. The marginal rate of substitution refers to the rate at which factors can be substituted at the margin without altering the level of output. So in other words, you can say as labor and capital. How much of labor and how much of capital when you use, you will get the output of production. Similar for that, if you work it out, the sum only you can just understand. Theoretically, even though we tell you, you can't understand this concept of your marginal rate or your marginal rate of substitution or your I sequence. So marginal rate of substitution is equal to change in capital divided by change in labor. So how much of capital you are going to be using, that is the marginal rate of capital you are going to be having, the change in capital, that is money. When you change the money for using a commodity, how much of labor, for example, as I told you, to plow a land, you need 10 laborers to work in the field. That 10 people's work one machine can do at a time. So how much of labor is required for the income or capital you are going to be spending for the laborers can be given for the tractor to plow it and to get your work done easily within hours, but the output is going to be the same only. Whether 10 people are going to be doing or only one tractor is going to be doing, time consumption is there. At the same time, you can see the output is also going to be more. Production of the commodity is also going to be more. So this is going to be the marginal rate of substitution, which is going to be having the formula MRTS is equal to change in capital divided by change in labor.